Good evening, Ledgers. Can everybody hear me? I've been talking on the mic and didn't realize it was on mute. How are you all? Hope you all having so the best of weekends or days, market-wise. But if you did tune in last week, you would have hopefully caught some of the moves. Okay, so you can all see. So I hope you all had a good weekend. Let's see what we make of the markets. Share the video, get the likes up. Hello, Dink. Hi, everybody. I can't mention all your names, but I appreciate you all tuning in. Let's get started straight away. The break was good. Thank you very much, Regal. Yes, nice. Unfortunately, the market started to move over the weekend, but regardless, last week's stream covered them. So you'd be in a good position. So let's get the disclaimer out of the way, then we get stuck straight in. I was going to do this tomorrow, but I thought, well, the market being the way it is, let's do it today. So welcome back again for Bitcoin for Ledgers weekly live stream. Before we start, I just want to thank our partner and sponsor for the show, Prime XBT, for making this happen. Hi, BT's Charlie. DM me if that's the real you, and I'm going to make you mod. I just get so many, I'm just OCD about that stuff because there's so many copycats here. Let me quick DM, confirm that's you. I want to make you a mod here. So they sponsor our stream, Prime XBT, so give them a follow. Without them, this stream wouldn't be happening, especially the Bitcoin ones and Ethereum ones. So if you use the link in the description, you can get up to $7,000 on the trading deposit. So once you sign up, that's step one. Step two is in the settings area. You'll find the account area. You type in the promo code TraderSZ, and then it's activated. So when you deposit, you get a bonus. It supports the streams. Okay, so if you like that, a decent exchange. Finally, nothing in this video constitutes financial advice. You should seek the help of professional investment professional if you require that before embarking with your capital. Now that's out of the way with what's going on with the markets. Let's go. So we're going to cover the last week's streams. It's more or less hit our target, so I've not really touched anything. So there's two charts we're looking at. One was that main one, that's the gap fill, and the other was just the SR levels. Okay. So if we look at that, so I've got two screens open. Give me a second. Behind a bit. Yeah. So one was the other one with the SR level that hit target. So we'll quickly recap that. Okay, we'll recap it. Recap, and then we'll see what's happening. Is this over? Possibly. Do I think we're gonna pull back? Possibly. We'll see. Okay, I'm gonna be prepared for both sides, just like last week. Last week we were looking for longs actually. Okay, I said range bound to prove otherwise, and it ended up being a simple trendline break. Now I've got levels here, but remember the range levels. I said clearly, as long as we don't smash above here, that's the breakout range for the upside. The downside is, well, here there's that trigger you had, invalidation and a break above target one, which was these clean lows and the January 2021 low. And if you got out, that's fine. We got the retest, and then on the lower time frame we had a breakdown. Okay, there's that breakdown, retest, there's the breakdown, trigger, continue clean break above, target one obviously small short term, but once we're below that, that means range expansion. Why range expansion? Because we're consolidating. Target one obviously, key low, target two here, and you're out. The rest is bonus. Okay, so that's done. It was actually a straightforward setup. I'm not sure it's complicated, and I said the moment it does break out, it's going to be a big one. Why? Because look how long we've been range bound for. And we were still range bound. You got to keep in mind, if it breaks out, then. And if you didn't take it here, well, you got this one. Remember the entry based on invalidation? I did go over it. This close alone, invalidation, would have been another one. So that's all covered now. So let's not repeat all of that. Now, make you get speak. Okay, so let's go forward now. What everyone wants to hear. What I'm going to actually do is I'm going to go work backwards now. I'm going to look at ES. Okay, I think it's important. And then we'll take it from there. Now, ES, I was looking for ideally, I'm going to get my other ES chart up. I was looking for ideally a push up. But I said, you know what, we always have to be prepared. So one thing we make sure is, where you read? Yeah, I was taking a shit while we were doing, while I was listening in. Yeah, sometimes you're in the bug and then just YouTube on in the background or listen to thing. Yeah, I was. Then took a shower, took my time, then came on, as you do. I could have put the mic on if I wanted to hear it. But yes, I was. Absolutely. Now, what I was looking for ES was, yeah, so it's important we start with the ES. And I think this will will make more sense as to why, if Bitcoin low is in, and when I say low, I do not mean a permanent low. I mean a short-term low, okay? I still believe where we are in a bear market. Now, with this bear market, there's two things, okay? Hello, Mitch. Mitch, DM me. I'll make you the mod as well. DM me if that's the real you. I always ask that, even though you are, just to make sure. There are a few mods here, and any troll, just kick them fuck out. If you don't like the names, kick them out. If you don't like anything about them, kick them out. You got free reign. So, yes, so this is gonna be quite a long session. Okay, I'm gonna take my time on this one. But yes, so if a short-term low is in, and I mean it's the bounce, because we do have Fed this week. Maybe keep it range bound because it did drop really quick. I was expecting that, but again, you never know with crypto. Okay, remember the first one. Don't ask me about DCAing in. No, I'm not gonna say if you should DCA in. But remember this trade I took here. If you were in the Telegram group at the time, hello Crypto Chase. XO's in the house. Everybody's in the house today. Yes, the lads are here. Everyone, XO, Dank, Chase, Mitch, everybody. Oh, so this was this was on a Saturday, Friday evening, Saturday, I can't remember, and sold off. So there's no surprise that they sort of probably make it easier, or it's easier to sell it off. But regardless, it did. So this is why I don't use full risk on the weekend. I add, but this just happened in one go. So I didn't make the most of it, but I caught my share, and that's it. But anyways, let's go back to ES. Now, if you want to know more detail on the ES, XO goes with the FA, over it goes with the bonds. Now, I do know my bonds. Even though if I pretend I don't, bond market is one of my favorite markets to trade. I just don't talk about it much. Most of you guys are not into the bond markets and stuff. But those are the ones that bonds dictate what's gonna happen. They very rarely lie. So I'm not gonna repeat that. You can watch XO streams on that. He's more eloquent at that. I'm just like, he's the setup, he's the level, smack that bit short or long, and that's it. Okay, that's more my type of style. But maybe one day we will go into more detail as to my understanding of bonds. Maybe we have options as to how I look at them. But that's for another stage. Right now, 90% of you won't understand that. And most of you are just day traders anyway. And whatever happened, it happened on the weekend anyway. So, there's no point in all of that. So, what we're going to do is, we're going to start off simple. We're going to start off, why do I think the ES possibly could be the low end? So, what I was looking, and we're going to remember, treat it as a range, okay? You start to treat it as a range. Now, if we look at this, in any world scenario, I would really expect at least this to have been taken. These are such easy stops, okay? But they did not get taken. Now, the question is, do we continue to trend lower? Or do we create a range now? So this area here, when market was down here, I actually wanted it to go a bit lower, okay? For the rally and then push up. It's retested it now. So if you go all the way to the left, this was an area we didn't retest before, okay? We've retested it now. So, the question is this a range? Now, what is the range I'm looking at? Let's make it simplified, okay? Well, one can say, well, this is a range. As I was capping it. You can also say this, you can zone it out, okay? That area, I'll box it out. No, I'll box it out. Here, okay? As a previous range high. And could this be a range low? Okay? Now remember, we're heading into the Fed now, okay? Mitch, DM me to confirm that's you here. I'm going to send you, same with BTC Charlie. Anybody else I know, make you mods as well, in case the others are here. So, the question is, could this be here? Now, I've already shown you this key support around here. Not only that, it's one of my macro range levels is around here as well. But we just deviated, we do deviate for a bit. So, if it's going to bounce, it's got to be from here. Otherwise, 2021 low gets taken. Another scenario could be we swing fail last year's low and then deviate and then push up. But for this to qualify as a range right now, we need to push up quick now. Okay? We really need to start pushing up quick. And maybe something like this. If you deviate back above, then I'll be going for the gap fill play. That, to me, signifies a possible relief in Bitcoin. That does not mean the low is in. That means a possible relief. A relief I'll be looking for, yes, I will mark out possible short-term longs. Now, if you don't want to take the short-term longs because the trend is obvious to now, well, you can use that to sell into, okay? And then if that gets cleared, then towards here. And then there's no reason why we can't do one more leg up. And this would be a fucking bear market rally. This is how bear market rallies look like, okay? Now, another thing is, right, see, if it was bullish, if markets are bullish, right, you want to see a fast capitulation. This is not quite, this is, I consider this quite a slow capitulation. Like this, look at this. It does this, see this here? Watch this, watch this. Let me compare it for you. You got the square here. You got the square here. Look what it does. Look how violent, aggressive this is. At this point, I'm thinking, they've left these sons of bitches clean highs in. That doesn't make sense. Look what they did. Oh, they're back up again. Then the sell-off. Well, something similar here, possibly. Now, at what point was that qualified? But more or less, I mean, once it does this, I mean, more or less here, really. Okay? Like a double bottom. Not the cleanest, but you get it. Maybe some call it triple bottom. But it takes time. The key point is it takes time. This is where you got to stand back. You make your money when things are optimal. And then you step back. And then when you enter a range, you play the short-term ranges. When the breakout's clear, just like we did with Bitcoin, we played the range. When the breakout was clear, then you maximized on that. You put your foot on the gas. So there's no reason why this can't happen. We're at key support. This was key support area here. I believe it was around here. Actually, it was the exact same thing. This consolidation here hadn't been retested. And we retested on that spike low. This consolidation here hadn't been retested. And now we've retested that. Okay? Now it takes time. It takes time. I want to see, this took weeks. But once it's ready, you play the game. And at this point, I think around here is where, if that happened, if that doesn't mean I've got to take it, you can wait. Okay? But if that happens, then the next leg like this. Okay? It could still happen. So far, does that make sense? Before I continue, this is scenario 1. Okay? That's scenario 1. Now, translate that over to Bitcoin and crypto, which means we could get the same thing again. Okay? I'll go over it. I'm going to go into very slow today. Very detailed. Hopefully, no corner gets left unturned. But before I do that, I'm going to have a bit of San Pellegrino. Okay? I haven't got the ice or lemon. I've got no lemon up today. There's no lemon in the fridge. One second. Okay, so that's done. Right. One second. Okay, so we continue now. That's scenario 1. Now, when I say it was good, thank you, Miwa. It was good. I enjoyed it. Good time. I'll be back then soon again. I'll go back again soon. So, having said that, so that's the pullback scenario, okay? Once it confirms, maybe by next stream, or what I'll do is I'll post. So, join the free Telegram. Now, do not, there's loads of people now, the imposters, they block me on Twitter, but somehow they're able to reply to my tweets, and a lot of people are getting scammed. Don't fall for it. I know you're gonna be thick fuck to fall for it in the first place, but sometimes, I understand we're humans in the heat of the moment. We're emotional about trade positions, and you think that's me messaging you to help you. I'm not gonna DM you. It's them, okay? Don't fall for it. The only free Telegram I've got is in a pinned tweet on my Twitter and the description here. It's completely free, okay? If somebody's charging you, it's not me, okay? But I'll be probably posting it there when the time's ready. But I'm waiting now, okay? Most of my money is made by waiting, and I didn't put much position on, but this leg was enough for me. Like I said before, like this quarter or previous quarter, a lot of my money was made by this leg here. Majority was actually made just from there toward there. Many position compound. This wasn't as good because I was away. It happened too quick, but money was made. Decent enough anyway for a relaxed weekend. Off my phone as well while I was driving around wherever. But that's that there. Now we wait. Okay, so having said that, the other scenario is, now why am I doing this? Is for crypto purposes. Okay, because more or less they are correlated. No matter what anybody says, they're fucking correlated. Okay. Now the other scenario is, well, if I'm correct and it's a bear market, this won't go down in one go. Okay, this will take time. I personally think, but it doesn't matter what I think. All I can do is mark out my levels. But if shit can go to hit the fan. I haven't even looked at NQ since I've been back. So this is my first time. I did earlier as soon as I come back in. I believe this high here, the high that caused the low is often a key support. So if we do not swing, if one is swing failure, back in towards the range, target 1, target 2. The other is if I miss this for some reason, I'll wait for a consolidation here. That consolidation is either going to be a breakout to the upside or to the downside. That downside means it's going to be a mega move. Why? Because consolidation is to expansion. Then that would mean towards there. And then that would probably take Bitcoin to around 17K area. And it's going to make sense when I go to Bitcoin. Okay, I'm doing my analysis on this first. Can this go lower? Possibly. Okay, can this be this type of move? I don't know. Okay, it depends on what the Fed do. Remember, there's QT going on here. If they get aggressive with that shit, then things can get messy. But personally, in my opinion, we're at a stage in life. This is just my opinion, where I think there's there's too much fucking debt around, too much credit cards not being paid. Money being printed, nobody's got savings anymore. People are struggling to pay their bills. Nobody's fucking putting money into the market now. Nobody's buying crypto right now. Ask yourself this: do you have enough spare money to buy crypto, or are you worried about your next bill? Look at the energy prices. Let's look at CL for example. Do you really have spare cash to be putting into some shitcoin Ponzi, or are you more worried about? You don't have to answer, but just think about it. If you're rich, you're rich. Or are you, look at this fucking crude oil now. This is gearing up to another fucking leg up now. Look at this holding. We spoke about this before as well. Probably going to head to 135, probably 147, in my opinion. You're more worried about, do I have enough money to put in the car for petrol? How am I going to pay for my fucking kids' school buses, bus passes and shit like that? You know what I mean? So think realistically, think real world stuff. You got food that is expensive now. These are the things you got to think about. So the last thing people's mind is fucking buy the fucking dip now, isn't it? The only people that are buying the dip is got the other people's money, funds or something. Even then, people are probably withdrawing money, or exactly. 1 second. So you gotta be realistic. When the time comes, when things are easy, then markets will, and naturally it'll come to a price where when you get used to the situation, you got all these interest rate hikes going on. Keep an eye on stuff like that. This is why XO streams are good. I don't go over them. No, I'm not married. Fuck that. Why would I want to suffer from one giant? I'm gonna just take everybody else's misses for like a short-term break. Only joking. But anyways, my point being is, I don't think people are putting money into the market. I think there's people are. I think if you're holding a large amount, think about this. Think from a small scale, right? If you've got a large amount of some sort of shitcoin, and even any one of you here can probably move a small low cap market, right? If you're a big holder of Ethereum, Bitcoin, you're stuck, aren't you? You need these rallies to exit. We've seen some people on Twitter exit the market. Send money, send Ethereum, thousands of Ethereum to exchanges, and say they're buying the dip, but are they really buying the dip? Yeah, of course they are. All those Ethereum were sent when were they sent? Around here, right? Yeah, we're buying the dip. We go back to the Twitter, we're buying the dip. We send Ethereum to the FTX here, we're buying the dip. Of course you fucking are. We believe you. But you see what I mean? This is happening in one go. Like, I'm bearish in this market. But even I wanted a rally, I couldn't even get a simple little rally. Okay, a simple little rally. So it shows how weak the market is, and I think people are struggling to even get the fuck out of the positions. But obviously there will be profit taking, etc. But regardless of my opinion, let's get straight to the point. I'm getting sidetracked here. So ES right now, if it's gonna bounce, it's gonna be from here. Okay. Having said that, so is everybody clear my ES plans? And again, once more price action unfolds, once we've got FOMC out the way, I'll be updating. Okay. Buying the dip, yeah. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. If I was in a position like that, I'd fucking do that as well. End of the day, right? It's a shark market. Nobody cares about you. You don't care about anybody else. All you care about really is making money. Okay? Let's be honest. So if I'm in a position to do that, I probably fucking would have done that. I probably wouldn't go around saying to people I'm buying the dip, but if I had to, would I do it? I probably wouldn't. I'm not even that scared, so let's not go there. But if I want to entice people in, then I'm gonna have to say them. and then, you know, the influence you can have on bigger investors. So something like that in towards this gap fill and towards here would get me to long Bitcoin short term. Now, where do these levels coincide? So remember what I said on Bitcoin, okay? Now we're gonna shift over to remember what I said on ES. Now we're gonna shift over to Bitcoin. Now we're gonna start off with a clean chart. We can go over this chart first, and I've got the levels ready as to how we're gonna play level to level. There's two plays. One type of play is play level to level, okay? To be honest with this, isn't really brutal. I sometimes maybe my tweets get away. It's not brutal. It's a nice slow sell off, and to be honest with you, you had so many opportunities to short the fuck out of this. This does not look to me capitulation. This is steady selling. This is. Look at this price action, and let's not blame Chimp as well. Okay, I like Chimp, even if I disagree with him. I think he's just playing his role on Twitter. Okay, but he's placing his own money on this. Nobody's forcing you to buy. You know, I don't think it's fair to blame someone like that. We can agree to disagree. I like the guy, even if I disagree with him. I mean, I'm taking a piss at him most of the time myself, and we both do to each other. But again, I still bring him on my streams. I always like to hear the other side, but it doesn't mean I'm going to copy him. Okay, maybe he has his reasons. He's putting his own money on the line. But again, if you feel like you get influenced by people, whether me or him or anybody else, don't. Think for yourself, okay? Think, in fact, if you're going to do that, listen to the other side as well, okay? Let's put it this way. If you are going to get influenced by people, then at least listen to the other side of the market, okay, as well. Like, if you listen to my streams, I say up and down. It's not up and down. I have clear trigger plans, but I am also prepared. Do you remember when I do my streams, I always say, if we get the breakdown plans, I always start off with the breakout plans. Remember last week? The breakout plan above here. If that had happened, I would have gone long. The breakdown plan from here and then there, just in case that happens. So even if I do miss this, I've got, you would have caught this or you would have caught that. Make sense? So be prepared for that. This is not brutal. This is not brutal. Look how slow this is. Look how slow. I mean, brutal is this. This is brutal. Brutal is something like, I don't know, something like this. This is fucking brutal here. That's brutal. This is what's happening now is even more dangerous. What's happening now is a slow sell-off. Because there's a lot going on. Okay, let's keep the chat. Let's keep the chat on track, okay? Everybody's got a character on Twitter. You know, you've only got yourself to blame. Okay, let's not blame people. You've only got yourself to blame. Nobody makes you put money into it. If you're gonna blame people, fuck you, you're not a man. Okay, act like a man, take responsibility, and that's it. Nobody force you to do shit. I will tell you how it is. Okay, and that's it. If you don't know what's going on, you're putting money into something, then fuck you too as well for being stupid, for gambling your family's money away over shit you don't understand. You better go to a casino, you have better odds. Anyways, let's carry on. So, having said that, this to me looks like efficient selling. Efficient selling means lower down. Just like the stock market, I say stock market, ES right now, very, very efficient selling. Okay, this is not a one-way road. This is up, down, up, down. This is called a proper prolonged bear market. I think this bear market goes on for a couple of more months. Okay, I mean, look at the sell-offs. This is a proper sell-off. This sort of shit. You can tell. They just want to get the fuck out. And there's a bottoming out soon. This is slower. This is having pullbacks. This is more dangerous. Okay, but there's beauty in that as well, because why don't you short it? Now if you're a hodler, I'm not selling now, I'm gonna wait to sell. I'm not in Bitcoin. I've got no Bitcoin. I've made it very, very clear. I'm more of a margin trader. I can trade both sides of the market. I don't need to commit to any hole. I just play. I have some alts, yes, but that's just with fuck you money. I don't give a fuck about those. I made a lot of money on alts, especially PYR and Sava, and I even gave you targets and exits. But at the same time, you gotta remember this is crypto, and right now, crypto, you don't marry any project. I was even in Luna. I was in Luna before some of these big OGs. I was in Luna around 0.3, 0.4. XO gave me the heads up on that in 2020 August around time or September. Before that, I got lucky. I forgot about the wallet, but yeah, I rolled it out around 40, got out at 80, and then 100 remainder. I got out, but you don't marry anything. So if anything, learn this. Never be loyal to any of these coins. Play the cycle, get the fuck out, then short it. Okay, yes, Zavo was brilliant. 0.75 I got in. Went to 20. You can't be, you can't do that. Every single coin's dropped. Okay, every single coin dropped. So you can't point at each individual coin. Which coin has survived? Every fucking thing goes. This is crypto. No matter how good the project is, it will all go up. It will all go back down. The question is, do you make the most of it? That's it. It's about you exiting. Okay. Anyways, having said that, that's that done. Let's go to Bitcoin now. So Bitcoin, we're gonna start off with this chart first. Okay. Now this isn't to key. I've got a few charts, so let me be patient with me while I get the right one up. So this was the one we used, right? The January range. And January 2021 range, even XO's been showing you this one. This has been my one for a while. Okay, so there's gonna be two types. Let's get the likes to 500. Get the YouTube algos going. So we've hit our first target, and there was a BTC CME gap there. Now, remember what I said? There's a key support area. And I'm gonna show you more further evidence as to what other confluence we got. So we got one confluence of this being possible bottom is we've sold off hard over a weekend. We're into key area. What is this key area? When we broke out of previous all-time high here. Okay. Okay, we got a gap here. That's an area. I don't think this will be a bottom. I think a bottom would probably be like this and then a reclaim. That's normally how bottoms would go a lot further. But it's an area where if it's gonna bounce, this is an area I'll be watching. Okay. So why is this important? Because once you bust out of here, the buying in here or the orders in here made it continue going up without retesting it. Okay, so we're at that area now. We could possibly get two scenarios I'm looking at. If this is a possible low, and I'm going to get to what the confirmation of the low is going to be in a minute. If it's a bear market rally, and if I think ES is going to go up, there is no reason why we still cannot get. There's two types. One, this is what I don't know, but when it gets there, we'll mark out the plans. One does this in towards here. Two, this is the ideal I'm looking for. That would be a bear market rally for me. I still valid shorting opportunity. Something like this, grab that trend line. There's going to be late shorts here, wipe these guys out, then do the dump. That would be the original one. Okay, the second one is the trend continuation from here, which I'll get onto. So I'm just marking out blueprint naked plans. Where am I looking to short? If it was going to rally either here or around about here, which would line up with KSR. Okay. And then we play our ranges. So we create a new range. We play the range up and down. Okay. Now, it may not be making sense, but let me clarify that further now. So, we'll add in the levels now. And I'm thinking, should I start off with a clean chart? Yes, I will. We're actually going to look at another yearly chart here, okay? And I'm going to be marking out the range from 2020. Why am I marking out 2020 range? Because we're in that right now, aren't we? If I look at 2020 high, right? 2020 high has proven to be key support for 2021. You can see that. No, that's quarterly chart. My apologies. Even the quarter is valid. It's still valid, okay? 2021 high. And you can see that as a support. We're below that now. So either it's going to act as support, SR flip, or continue lower. Then I'm going to mark out 2020 low. And then I'm going to mark out the mid-range of that as well. Got that. You got that. 16,575. Okay. 16,575. 16,575. This is why I'm thinking around 17 to 16.5k will be a next downside if it's going to go lower. If. So we mark out our levels first. Okay. Potential support areas. And then I'm going to mark out one more, which is the midpoint of that. 22,937.5. 22,937.5. We'll mark that out, okay? Bear with me, I'll explain. And the last one, I mean, worst case scenario, 10.2k. That can still happen. LCG 143. That's it, 500 likes. MJ, your thoughts, please. Do you think the crypto futures? More manipulate. Listen, ignore all this manipulation shit. It's just trading and it's just the market. That's all it is. That's all it is. There's no one out there against you, okay? The only person out there against you is yourself. Play the manipulation. If it is manipulated, play it. Okay? I've never talked about manipulation. I've just talked about these are the levels. You play the levels, and that is it. So these are my levels now. Now look carefully how the midpoint. So we got 2020 high here. 2020 high. We got 2020 low. 2020 low. Now this is going to get easier. This is going to tell you exactly how I navigate the markets now. Now I don't need nothing special now. I just follow this mid-range. I look at how 2020 high, without even looking at the SR, just the high and low for the year, to 2020 mid-range, the midpoint of that, look how perfectly that was the low. Can you see that? Nearly to the tick, isn't it? Okay. Hopefully, I did have these levels marked out for a while. This is also lines up with, if I was to use a fib extension, or if I was to copy and paste these range levels down, okay, watch this. That, to that. The midpoint of that has lined up perfectly using the January 2021 range with that low perfectly, the midpoint of that. So everything's lining up. Not only that, the 25% lined up perfectly with that. So these are going to be next downside targets if it doesn't go down. So all I'm doing now is marking out my range to deal with it. Anyway, I just want to use that as confluence now. So let's continue forward now. Is everybody with me so far? All of these mark out levels. Yep. So let's focus in on this now. Okay. Now clearly I know that if this smashes, the next target's going to be towards the mid-range. Now I'm going to halve that in half. So is there an SR level that lies within here before it even gets to the extreme end? We'll go to the left. Previous all-time high. Okay. Previous all-time high. Let's draw that in black. Okay, so now all we're doing is I've narrowed in where we're going to deal with it. Can you stop asking me if this is a good long? Now I'm not going to tell you if it's good long. You work it out. That more or less, if I eyeball it, is near enough the midpoint of this range. Okay, so let's focus on the range we're dealing with. We are dealing within the 2020 high now, and this one here. Okay, so go down now. What's key SR now? Well, we've got key SR. We've proven that this is a consolidation from here and a CME gap fill. Not only that, we've got this low here. Now remember, ES, that same support ES is at right now. This is our key support as well now. These are yearly levels now I'm using. So we carry on now, man. If I was an aggressive trader, if I want to take a long, where would my objective be? Back towards previous support. Target 1, if I was aggressive, that is. I'm not saying it's a trade, just saying. Target 1, these highs here. Target 2, towards here. Invalidation will be a clean break below here, because the moment that's invalidated, I've got my short trigger. Okay, I'm not saying take it, I'd just wait a little while. Okay, so we've got that sorted now. Just for argument's sake, I'm going to draw the accurate range for this. Okay, so just bear with me, I'm going to take my time. 22,937.5. And then we've got 16,575. That gives us the mid-range of 1975. Let's mark it before previous all-time high. So this on this exchange, 19754.16, and that's the midpoint there. Look at how accurate that is. Okay, there we go. Now we could even half that in time. Okay, so that's gonna be the next downside if this gets smashed. So what am I gonna do now? Is the play right here? I don't know. The Mondays, even Monday hasn't closed, and it's gonna be a large Monday's range. Okay, ideally after the Fed, but I want to see some sort of pullback at least to work with. Okay, so now I've narrowed it down, and all I'm focusing on now is this, and I'm focusing on this now. Okay, so let's focus within here first, how I'm going to play it. Okay, and then if that breaks, we'll focus on this region here. So far, in case this is the low for the day, we have a Monday's range. Pretend we've closed. I'll take the high to the low. That's okay. That's the Monday's mid-range comes in around here. So this is a zone. Monday, the midpoint is always a zone to target. So we'll zone that out. It'll be a key area. Before it even gets to that, we'll go towards there. So what I'll be looking for is scenario 1. This is a range play now. Okay. Now I don't know how it's going to unfold, but if we do get a swing failure of Monday's low, I'm going to go for a double deviation play. Okay. Where I need extra confirmation. So we've got this low here. So what I'll do is, whether it swing fail this or not, I don't care. But if it's a swing failure, double bottom, watch the ES. Is that pushing up? Then I know where the stops are going to be resting. I'll play a short-term long. Maybe first targets here. If that gets hit, stops at break even. But aiming towards the Monday's mid-range, if that is the range set for the day. Okay? The key part is if that's the range set for the day. Does that make sense? And just DM trader 1SZ. Okay, is that clear? That'd be my long play, range play. Now, if this is Monday's low, and if we are going to head lower, I'm going to mark our target way before that. Be quick. And we're going to go for... I'm going to do that. I should have just done it from beforehand. My apologies. 7. 19754, 19754, 0.16. Next target's going to be here, 10345. Okay. So, let's continue now. If it's going to trend lower, take a chase. Okay. And it's not going to give us the pullback. Wait for it. Wait for it to hold, clean break and hold below. Then that's going to be our trigger. Target 1, target 2. And we're done. After that, I don't know. Because Monday sets the range for the week. And often, if you go back in a range bound environment, draw Monday's high, Monday's low, in a range environment, even trending, watch what you see. That will answer your question. Okay? Is that clear? That's it. That's all we need to know. We got our ranges to work within. We've got the SR levels. We know what we want to see for trigger, targets, and that's it. Again, if it continues higher, okay, then we've got further upside targets. So if it's going to break above this level, so if we manage, so we'll play our level to level within this range here. We'll play our level to level within this range here, okay? If I want to be aggressive, like I said, you know the invalidation will be a clean break below here. So because it's at such an area, if somebody was to ask me my mechanical system, I'll give you a brief thing of my mechanical system. My mechanical system, I let it run itself, okay? I'm going to give you a little bit of thing what I do for that. That has got me long here, okay? I have no say over that. My personal one is different. It has a stop loss here. It has a target one around here and here. But if it was to break this level, not reject, it'll cut me out. And that just said does it itself and it flips short. It'll cut and flip short, but that just manages itself. Okay? But that's based on that. Because by then, if you make a clean hold, unless it's a one candle nuke, my worst case scenario, I accepted the risk. But if I can get out early, it will get me out early. Okay? But that's doing it itself based on these range levels. I've got no input in that other than how I made it. But that's just doing that itself. Now, obviously, me looking at me, I'm always going to have emotion involved because I'm human. So this is, I think, the human side of things and the mechanical side of things. I think the hybrid systems are probably better in the sense where I got a say in it. But anyways, that's neither here or there. So what we're creating here is a supply, demand, whatever area around here now. Okay. So the other scenario could be it does that, and then gets back above and holds above. Yeah, say long towards it, target 1 and target 2. Okay, I'm fucked. Your mom's fucked as well right now. Oh god. Okay, that's done. Okay, and then below this blue box means well, it's over. It's not over, but it's what the fucker. All below, target 1, target 2. Done. Now going back now, zooming back out. Again, there's no need to worry. There's clear trigger plans, clear targets. The most important thing is where you're targeting if you are going to take profits. As long as you know that and how to get back in, that's it. You don't handle ego. I mean, if you've been doing this for long enough, there is no ego in the market. The only ego is just posting on Twitter. But other than that, if this proves to be a range, accumulation, whatever, then once it gets back above here, that's your long. Target 1, and then target 2, maybe even 2020 high. But this will be the main target. And we'll see what happens after that. I will only mention after that. At what point do I think, okay, you know what? We're going to probably head up higher and go for these. But that'll be after all this shit happens. But most likely it'll have to be a reclaim above that. But by then, we've already got a range to work. We've already been taking longs. Okay? From there towards there. From there towards there. And a clean break and reclaim above that. Smack that long. At that point, the Saudis are back. Towards here, possibly towards here. I don't know where that goes, but I'll be aiming for these highs here at that point. Again, we're playing level to level. So what we need is a range to form. Okay? So whether it goes up or down, it doesn't matter. We've got the trigger plan ready as to what we need to see to trigger short, what we need to see to trigger long, and what our target's going to be. Rinse and repeat. Is that clear? Does that make sense? And that's it for Bitcoin. Let's move forward now to Ethereum. What's Ethereum got? So the Ethereum play. Let's go back, and the same play for Ethereum. This was our range. I said ultimately the clean breakout play would be below this green line. Target 1 here, and then we've got the blue box. Okay, and then previous all-time highs. All of them got crushed and further down. I wasn't expecting that. I mean, I had a short in from the trigger plan I gave you guys. Remember the trigger plan I gave you guys? I had a short plan from last week. I took that short plan. I got out. It came towards here and rejected back up because I had a good reason. Okay, I mean it's a weekend. You don't expect that, but okay, it did. But that's like a consolidation that hadn't been retested before. And then what I did was I seen this, and I as soon as it come into this blue box, this is where I started to exit half here, and as soon as it pushed up, you see my tweet, exit rest there, pushed up a bit more, then did this, and I think I took a scalp along here to retest the previous all-time high. I tweeted that'll do around here. I can't remember where it was, and then it just kept going. I thought, fuck, I wasn't able to get back in on board this, but again, it is where it is. Okay, what do we do here now? Is the question. So it's sort of gone below all my targets. Now we have got a bigger range. Okay, we've marked down that bigger range is if I go to the yearly. So if again you gotta watch the streams. If you watch the streams, you're sort of on top of all of this. Up or down, it doesn't matter. We're ready for either side. Well, according to this, that's probably the next target, isn't it? Last year's low. Okay. Is there another? I don't know. Somebody saying tether root pegging. I don't know. So what we've got here is last year's high, last year's low, last year's mid-range, and then from here, let's get rid of some of this shit. This is previous all-time high, as you know. Get rid of this blue. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to mark out a midpoint of the mid-range, the midpoint of this, and this. And lo and behold, look what's capping the downside, the midpoint. Coincidence? No fucking way. It is where it is. It's designed for this. 1752.72. 1752.72 and then 714.19 14.19. Okay, and what I'm going to do is mark out this, so we'll duplicate that zone. 1233.46 1233.6. let's mark out this SR level. That's the midpoint there. Are we done? That Ethereum alone is at a key range level. Look at this congestion here. There, flipping point there. You got these clean stops. So what's the next objective? Well, that's previous all-time high. So below here, we're probably going to go to around 715. I reckon here's first target. This region here's first target, and then here. That will be the next downside if it's going to break out below here. So if it's going to do that, I'd rather wait for this, and then like that towards there. Till then, that would be an upside objective. This is key support. So let's go down now. Let's mark out the key level we've swung fail. Not swung fail, we've taken out here. Drag that to the right. Okay, here. Now, save Bitcoin, time them all together. So if this is a low, I don't know if it's going to be a low, but what I do know is this is a key SR level as well. The range low. If Bitcoin breaks down, then most likely this can break down. I need a target before that. Target before that's probably going to be around about here. About 9.8, call it 975. I'm going to call it 980, okay? I'll have to round up. Okay, get rid of that. So, what we've got here, I'm going to do that in different color actually. Don't want that to get in the way. Let's do that there. 3 different levels. So, let's mark out the easy piece scenario. If this does crash from here, we're prepared. Breakdown. Hold below. Target 1. Probably bounce. Target 2 is really going to crash. Main target is going to be here. If it's going to push up above, well, we've already shown that it's a key level. It does this and holds. And that's going to be along towards here. Previous all-time high from years ago. Target 1. Target 2. At that point, I want to see what happens. Okay? I don't know. All I can do level to level. I've got a clear trigger plan there, clear trigger plan below here. This, I don't know what's going to happen now, but that is it. Is that clear? That's about it, really. Where do I think Ethereum is going to go long term? Well, we'll do FBTC. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's no reason why we can't really come towards here, really. around this region. 800 is a key region I'll be looking at. Okay, so my ideal scenario would probably be like, this. Okay, and then slam that bitch lower. That would be my ideal scenario. Or if it's really gonna go trend continuation, they want to get priced low and soon, maybe something like this. Months of accumulation below here, everybody's dead by then, and then probably back up again. We'll see. These are just like levels I mentioned. I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen, but yeah. So we can also look at it from a different point of view. If I'm gonna set the same rules for ranges, well, this is a key range low, okay, and this was a key range high. Now, how far did this go above this? If we look at it from this perspective, from that high, 43, 45, that's about 4,900 ish. Couple hundred, about $400-500 from there, and maybe a bit more. That's not too bad. So there's no reason why we can't do something like this. I mean, like this here. Okay, we're all getting hyped up for a breakout here, but okay, if it does this, if it's back on, most likely probably gonna push towards here. Okay, most likely, probably, in my opinion. And then does it do this or that? Target one would be here, T1, T2. But for that, it's gonna take time now. You gotta let it deviate. Does that make sense? So I don't think it's over yet. I don't care. Even if it is over, who gives a fuck? I'm trading the market anyway. But if you look at it from that perspective, range high, and I'm gonna use that as a key range low. Well, this would be the same as this, really, couldn't it? Does that make sense? Is everybody clear with that? Now, if it's gonna go lower, I mean, if it's gonna go high, it's gonna be from now most likely. How much more is gonna go lower before it's gonna crash? So this is why, if you're looking for high risk, aggressive plays, and you're gonna know whether you're right or wrong soon, okay, my invalidation will probably have to go around here. It's wider. It's a hard safety net, but for us to make a clean break below here and not reject, I'd cut it early. If I was gonna do that, it'd be smaller size. Okay, and then as it builds up, and as you get new validation, and as this is a confirmed low, then I can add in and scale in. Why are you going with one size straight away? Going small, scaling slowly. Okay, and if you're wrong, okay, cut, flip short, target's done, and that is it. I hope you've enjoyed the stream. There's nothing else really I want to clear. Oh wait, FBTC. Let's do FBTC now. So bigger picture, depending on how you look at F, right? This has always been, I mean, FBTC targets as well, which is nice to see. Here. Okay, now this was a region. This was our key support area. It broke. That's a first target. Macro view. I've always said, okay, that bigger picture still big. It depends on what is your macro view. I mean, if this was a 5-minute chart, right? Would you agree around this region you're looking to buy, aren't you? Okay. So I mean, this is like a macro view. Years of consolidation, big breakout. This is gonna do this. Now I can either look for aggressive longs here starting, and then once it confirms, and that's the deviation done, then send it, and then I would be all over it. Okay, think about that. What's happening right? Is this not a rounded retest? Is this not a rounded retest? They're only panicking because it's dropping. Is this the first time? This has been more brutal. That's been more brutal. At least this time round. I mean, this was a big consolidation. Because it's sort of a shitty retest there, but still went up. Another retest went up. All you need is one leg. Play the leg, cash out. Put the fucker back down again. Play the leg again. Okay, so I would personally be more interested in here. Now, I'm not ruling out that this could, I don't know what's going to happen here, but what if this becomes this? Yes, Jack, wham them. So that's that there. So that will be confirmed if we reclaim back above here. Then we play ping pong within this range. This could be extended range then. Okay. But ideally, what I would like would be here, but that doesn't matter what I would like. If it comes into here, I will start looking for massive spot plays. Maybe something like this. I'll be looking at it. Confirmed. I'll have to see some confirmation. Okay. Or maybe something like this. Maybe even really squeeze the motherfuckers in. Maybe something like this. Okay. So we'll get, I don't know. Throw this out. It's drawn. So this would be like a deviation area. This is squeezing right to the initial leg. Then trendline retest, breakdown, reclaim, then level to level towards here. We come to define resistance, cut it. It then reclaims back above here, get back in, and back towards there. Okay, and that's about it. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the stream. I hope that's clarified my thoughts. Exactly, I'm not worried about long or short. I'll trade both sides of the market. I've got exactly what my trigger plan is. And thank you all for tuning in. Like the video if you can, subscribe, drop a comment, what sort of stuff you'd like, and use the link in the description if you like these streams. Then it supports the channel, but Prime will continue sponsoring if you use their link. If not, well, happy days. That makes no difference. Take care. Bye bye.